a lot of, I'd say most businesses have leaks, right? And it's not water they're leaking like you're seeing in this bucket. It's actually customers that are slipping through the cracks, right? And this is simply because you're not following up. So there are stats online that say, you know, a company has to, or somebody, a prospect has to be exposed to a business a number of times, like 4 or 5 times. I don't know how accurate that is, but these are studies that people have done. And they say typical customer has to see a business 4 or 5 times before they're comfortable enough to actually make a purchase from you, right? And most businesses aren't following up. They're not doing anything at all to follow up. It's like they expect people to come to their site or come wherever once and make a decision then and there. And when they leave, that's the end of it. So what I want to share here are the 3 ways that we can follow up with people in an automated way. We're not chasing anybody. And this is, you know, it's a very nice experience because we're also building a relationship at the same time, right? We're not chasing anybody. We're not calling anybody on the phone and saying, hey, you know, what happened? You ready yet? We're not harassing people, but we're still keeping ourselves in front of them so that whenever it is they're ready, they'll remember us and they'll be more likely to reach out to us. So the 3 things: retargeting, lead magnets, and email sequences. I will go over those in more detail. So let me go on here. Can I reshare the slide? I will, Jillian, I certainly will. So let me get through this. Retargeting, you know, this bucket here, this guy here you see fishing in a bucket, that's really what it is, because when you retarget people, it really is like you're fishing in a bucket. You are targeting people who have landed on your website, which, you know, they've been introduced to you at some point in the past, and they've shown that they're interested in whatever it is you sell, because why else would they be visiting your website? How did they get there, right? So chances are 9 times out of 10, the person you're retargeting is in the market for whatever it is you're selling. So it really is like you're fishing in a bucket. And what you're actually doing is you're tagging everybody that comes to your site, and you're creating a little audience of people, and you're saying, okay, let's just advertise to this little audience. And everywhere they go, they're going to see an ad. So as it says here, it keeps your business top of mind. You know, you can retarget people for a week or for 2 weeks. You're just reeling them back in. You don't want them to get the chance to forget about you. So keeps your business top of mind. It earns trust and credibility, because when these people are browsing whichever site they like to browse, they go on CNN.com, they go on Instagram or Facebook, whatever it is they like to do online, your ad will be there. It can potentially be there, and they'll think you borrow some more authority from CNN. Imagine your ad being on CNN. It will look like, wait, this is a serious company here, when in reality, you're not spending as much money as they'd imagine, because you're just retargeting them. You're just following up with people that have visited your website. And I know with me, people have retargeted me in the past, and I don't even remember where I know this site from. I just know I know this business. No, it now becomes a familiar name to me, right? It gives you a much higher ROI than any other channel, right? So like I said, you're fishing in a bucket. And from my experience, you can research it online for yourself. The sales really come from your remarketing. If you're not following up with people, you're really allowing people to slip through the cracks, and it boosts your overall sales. So my recommendation is that even if you're not actively advertising right now, you put the things in place so that everybody that lands on your site, they do actually get tagged, and you start building that audience. Because I think you can have that audience for like 90 days, right? You can retarget people who visited your site 90 days ago. No, that might be a long shot, but you just want to know you have these things set up and ready. So when you're ready to deploy them, they're set up. All right. So that is it for retargeting. And the next thing that All right. I'm going to quickly tell you what the procedure is because this question just popped out at me. But it's very simple. What it is you go to your ad platforms. And I mean, there's a ton of them out there, but let's just focus on Google and Facebook. All right. Those two ad platforms, they give you like 2 little lines of code. And I don't want to throw you off or anything for people who aren't really that tech savvy, but whoever it is that manages your web, anybody can really do it. And I'll show you. I mean, I have videos that walk you through exactly what to do. And it's very easy, but you go to these sites, you download the code, and you just put it on your site. It's as simple as that. When you go back to Facebook or you go back to Google, they will have all the data. They've tagged all these people that have landed there. So it's much simpler than it might seem or it might sound. It's very straightforward. But let me get through this and we can revisit this. So retargeting is one thing that I highly recommend you have on your site. As I say, this is the travel industry. You have to be ready to retarget people. And the next thing is lead magnets. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen, well, I'm pretty sure you've seen it, but what a lead magnet is any kind of free resource that you can give to somebody in exchange for their email address, right? So somebody comes to your site and they're about to leave without doing anything. They're not contacting you. They're not doing anything to get the conversation started. You have this lead magnet there. It's an irresistible offer to them, whoever it is that your target customer is, your ideal customer. You create a simple resource that they won't want to leave, and you give it to them in exchange for their email address, right? And like I said, it helps to grow your email list, which is one of the biggest assets in your business. If the day comes when you want to actually retire or you just want to, sell your business, you having a strong email list is where all the value is going to be. It's the truest asset in your business. Your email list is your past customers and those new people who have been caught in your web and they're being, they're slowly being converted. These are people that they know you, and eventually when you do all of this right, they will become a customer. It might not happen tomorrow, but things start to snowball eventually. So your email list has a value of its own, and it's the best asset any business can have. So it grows your email list. It helps to qualify your leads. So when it comes to qualifying your leads, the example I typically give is if you were a wedding planner, for example, and you wanted to attract people who are considering getting married or they're getting married soon, and they come to your website, they look around and they say, okay, this looks nice. And then all of a sudden they see a free offer, like what you see here, this free guide that says the 10 best wedding dresses for 2024, or the 10 best wedding venues in the area that you serve, or, the best wedding themes, whatever it is. When it's your industry, you know all the questions that your prospect would have. And it doesn't take you long to come up and develop that list that they'd be like, wait, I need to get this. And all it costing me is my email address. It's a no-brainer. And if you have one of those subscribe forms, because I see it all the time where you have a subscribe form and it just says subscribe for updates. Nobody's doing that, right? When you use a lead magnet, if that is what you have, where you're saying subscribe for updates, when you use a lead magnet, it's going to skyrocket the number of people who sign up to your email list, right? It also provides value up front. So now, even though you haven't spoken to them on the phone yet, you're really getting a relationship going because they've read content from you, or whatever your lead magnet is, they've been introduced to you and they can now see that, okay, this person is a professional and they've put this resource together for me for free. And it helps to nurture your leads. As I say, when you are here building this relationship with these people and your competitors aren't, they don't stand a chance. These people are going to remember you. Now, just to kind of get a little deeper into how we create lead magnets, right? I would say to you that it can really be anything. So if you think about what you're in right now, this workshop, me sharing what I've learned, this is, it could be a lead. This is a lead magnet, right? But you don't even have to go this far with it. Another, well, the way we typically approach it is to just say, okay, let's make a list of the 10 things or as many things as we can possibly come up with that we know our ideal prospect would want to know. So I already gave you an example with a wedding plan. I'm sure you can come up with a lot more than what I shared. And if you're a tour company and you're telling people about the best beaches and the best restaurants and the best attractions and all these things, that's somebody that isn't there. They don't know. They're coming on a trip. They would really love to know. You make an exhaustive list of all those things. You maybe they want a packing list, what to take when you come into Jamaica. It really can be whatever it is. And once you make that list, you pick the best one out of it. Whatever stands out to you the most, you pick it out and you create it. It's your field, it's your industry. This should not take you a half an hour to create. And this will really be an asset that will serve your business. This is a part of the foundation. Once you have this created, as I said, it will continuously bring people into your mailing list, which all of these people are qualified leads, because why else would they download this resource? If I wasn't planning on getting married, why would I care about the best wedding venues, right? So, I mean, I can't stress enough how important it is for you to have this on your site. And it's pretty straightforward. Now, one thing I want to show you before I move on is, you spend the time, you create the resource, top 10 lists, top 5 lists, those things are always good because, if you look at like the cover of magazines, a lot of these magazines, when you go in the supermarket the next time, they spend so much money and time trying to figure out what is going to grab you when you're checking out. And a lot of the time you're seeing top 5 and top 10 lists because they know that's what grabs attention, right? So you can create a list, easy, won't take you any time, and you go to a website like Fiverr and have them design it up, because a part of it is, you want it to have an interesting topic. But when you have it, just like it is over here, it has this 3D look. It looks like something physical. It helps it to stand out on the site. So as I say, I went to Fiverr, lead magnet design, and these people here, for a little bit of money, I mean, $5 sound cheap. I would say more like $20, $25 is probably what you should expect to pay. But some of these people might be new and they might do good work. They might do good work. You just kind of have to test it out. I just want to check, is everybody hearing me still?
Yes, so far.
All right,
Yes,
because
so
I realize my laptop
yeah,
start
you're hearing.
ringing with all right, perfect. No, because people been calling, and when the laptop rings, it kind of loud in my ears, and I don't know if it chipped me out or whatever. But all right, perfect. So yeah, you come here, you create this list, you go to somewhere like Fiverr, you say make it look pretty, right? And they'll create this 3D design for you. Effortless stuff. As I said, there's work, but it's not anything that is difficult. It's all easy work. What most people don't have is a clear strategy that makes sense, which is exactly what I'm trying to share with you. How we can pull everything together so that you really have a machine that generates new customers for your business. All right. So I don't know how this might get here, and I don't know how to delete it. So we'll just leave it. So that's it for lead magnets. And like I say, if you have any questions, let me know. We can discuss it at the end. And the third thing, now, when you start having all these people coming to your website, however they get there, whether you're promoting on, well, I'm going to show you how the best ways to promote your business, but however it is you promote your business. As I said, somebody land on your site, you want to grab onto them. You want them wrapped up in your web so that they don't slip away, because chances are they're going to buy from somebody. Might as well be you. Now, when you have this lead magnet and people are coming and they're seeing this interesting thing that you're giving away for free, and they're entering their email address to sign up for your mailing list, you have all these people coming, you deliver the lead magnet, but you don't want to start following up with them. One, you don't want to start following up with them manually. And two, you don't want to be annoying about it. You want to be very strategic in how you follow up with people. And the next one is the email sequences, right? So an email sequence is, as the name would suggest, a sequence of emails that you pre-create so that when people sign up for your lead magnet, they'll get it delivered. And, as this shows you here, ignore the red mark. Day one, this might be, they got the lead magnet. Day 3, they get the second email. Day 5. So typically for the first week, you can be a little more aggressive with your follow-up, because you don't know if the person is traveling in the next few days. They could be traveling within the next week. So you try to make sure that they at least see you for the next week. And then after that, you can taper down once a week for a while, and then once a month. You just want to keep yourself in front of them. And here I have 10 emails, right? Very, very easy to create. Like I said before, you go back to these topics. For the lead magnet, you have your list of things that would be beneficial to people. Your ideal customer would want to know this. You create the one that you're going to showcase on your site, and all the rest of them, you don't have to design them up pretty. You can if you want, but you're going to send them out in email. And then what happens? The person is now, and I mean, each one of these emails, you're delivering some information that would be valuable to them. And you're also, reminding them that you exist and reminding them of how they can contact you. So it's not just about delivering value. That's a part of it for sure. But each and every one of them is another opportunity for this person to make contact or to reach out to you. So like I said, the first one is going to be, all right, sorry about that, guys. That won't happen again. We should be all good. Am I here? I am here. Totally lose my focus a while ago, but all right. We have the list of things. Person get the first one, which is a lead magnet. All the rest of them go out as follow-up emails. Each one of them basically makes a pitch. You're not doing any hard pitching, but you're basically doing a soft pitch. You're saying, hey, we're here. Remember, if you want us. But every email they get from you is just you telling them something else that they find interesting. Even if they don't find all of them interesting, they're going to see that every email you send is something friendly, something that they might like, and that's how you get people to open your emails. If every email you send is all about buy from me, or, remember to come and buy, then nobody's going to open it. But if you can figure out what your prospect would like to see and share it with them, they'll open every email you get. And you don't need to create a lot to cover an entire year of follow-up, because as I say, it's just the first week they're getting 5. After that is 1 per week, and very quickly after that is 1 per month. You're just kind of keeping yourself in the mix just so that they don't get a chance to forget about you. Automate follow-up, keep your business top of mind, earns trust. You're building a relationship, consumer confidence. Once again, this is not just some random person trying to scam me. They're trying to be friendly. So I'm telling you, you're making sales in the friendliest way possible, and it will help to increase your sales. All right. So that's the automating follow-up side of this thing. So we've gone through optimizing your website so that when people come, they see the information they need to see. It's not about hard selling them. Once again, they're coming and everything is laid out nice and neat. They get the information they want. If for whatever reason they happen to leave, you're going to leave without taking an action. So I don't think I mentioned that how retargeting works is that you're tracking that person's action. You're looking at the pages they land on, right? So if somebody comes to your site and they don't contact you and they don't make a purchase, they don't take any other actions that you say, they don't sign up for your email list, then you retarget them, right? But once they do one of those things, then you'd say, okay, we don't need to target that person right now because we already have them in our email list. We can follow up with them for free because email don't cost you nothing. All right. And I mean, separate and apart from those things that you'd create that would be valuable for them, you can also send, if you have things like success stories, people love to see somebody else's experience. So maybe you're going to send an email about somebody that you did business with recently that had a great time, and you can send them other things too. But that's just the easiest type of content to come up with, things that your ideal prospect would want to know, and you have access to it. You can create it for them easily. So this, as I said, is the machine. It's the foundation that makes your advertising and your promotional efforts work much better. All right, so I see no questions here. I'm going to move on to the promotional side of tourism.